Hi, Sean Matthew Crawford here. Today I'm going to show you how to practice drums without a drum kit, right? How to prepare for a big gig, and also how to prepare for tryouts with a band. You've got an awesome band who, my situation, you've got an awesome band who you're going to try out for, but you have nowhere to practice drums. You haven't practiced in months, right? You don't have a drum kit, maybe. You're going to go practice or try out on their drum kit. Well, I've got just what you need. Backstory, I moved to Oregon a couple years ago. Would practice almost daily at that point. And then I moved here. There's nowhere in town to practice drums. I was willing to pay. I couldn't find any storage units. I couldn't find anything to play my drums. So I bought mesh heads. I bought little pads to put on the drums, and I just could not practice without annoying any of my neighbors. Because even what we're going to do today makes noise, which I'm going to show you how to make almost no noise. So what I ended up doing is just, it doesn't make it makes sense to someone who's done it and who's practiced like this. A lot of people have, but it doesn't make sense to most people that this translates to a full drum kit, but it will work, and let me show you how I did it. So basically, you need your drumsticks, and you need something to hit on. I use a drum pad. This is a Evans Real Feel. It's okay. I mean, it makes the ticks. It's got a little screw in there, so if you want, you could get a drum stand and stick it on, but I haven't actually found anything that will screw into this. I'm sure there's an adapter or it screws into a universal screw, but it doesn't screw into any of my drum stuff. And then something to hold up what you're hitting. Before I had this, I would just literally hit pillows, and I'll show you what I actually spend most of my time practicing with, which is nothing. I just do this, right? And then this is how I actually practice my stick control with the drum kit, is I'm using this as my kind of stop. So it just gives me a good control and rebound, right? You want to pop your drumstick back up real fast. So this motion pops it up like you're hitting a drum, right? And for some reason, that space, that air, allows my mind, from playing drums over the years, I kind of know instinctively what the sound is I'm going to get if I do this, you kind of know what's going to happen. Snare, high tom, bigger tom, floor tom, crash, ride, ride right there, hi-hat, kind of like that. And then so, starting from basics though, you want to use your pad and you just practice 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Practice that, and practice just 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And just play with it, I'm not super consistent, to be honest. And then, so another thing is just practice that too. Practice, just practice going all out on this thing. Just take all the frustrations of your day and just mess around. Do that for 10 minutes. Warms you up. It gets you in the groove of you're doing something. And then incorporate your legs. And these aren't any of the drum parts I have in my band or anything. These are just my personal kind of like what I naturally do when I'm sitting there at the DMV and tapping my hands. I'm doing like a Yeah, it's just what I do. And then so that's good. You know, a lot of people will sit there and just the metronome, which is great. But, you know, I don't have time. I want to live my life. I'm not engrossed in music like a lot of people say you need to be. You don't need to. Like, you don't have to even practice every day, to be honest. You can get through a gig. You can get through practice. You can get through an EP or an album, really, by just doing a little fun playing around it every day. All right, so I'll show you what I do and how I get through gigs, 2-hour gigs with little practice and no drum kit, right? I have my drum kit in the closet. And so this is just a song we've played at practice. And I'll just put it on, you know, you can hear me. And then I'll just play along. Just mess around. Just mess around, and then if you have a drum pad, use that foot. Mess around. Like, it doesn't matter, it's just you know? And then go back into it, you know? And that's basically all I do, is I'm just doing this, and that gets me through any gig I've had in the last 3 years, any tryout I've had in the band. And I go and I play just as good as I used to play, and my chops aren't 100% like they used to be. Like, I was practicing a lot more every day, so I could do all these wild fills and stuff. But what really gets you the part is keeping it simple and playing concise, right? Which is going to be keeping the time and keeping a good time, not just that kind of don't bop, don't bop, don't bop, don't bop, but don't bop, don't bop, don't, you know, have some feel. That's not the same thing, but you kind of get what I'm going at. So you just can practice without a drum kit, and not only that, that frees you up if you think about it. It allows your mind to not have to be at the drum kit. Because what's happening when you go play live, if you haven't played live before and you go play live, most likely you're going to be playing at a bar or a restaurant or somewhere where the sound is not really good and you can't hear yourself, right? You might not hear your kick because everything's so loud, and maybe your kick's not in the monitor, or you probably don't even have a monitor, right? the front, the band singer, the songwriter, the guitarist, they have a monitor, and it's just supposed to make its way back to you, but most of the time it's not going to. So that gives you a skill of being able to play drums without hearing yourself, right? You just picture it, you just feel it. And when you're feeling that, you just project it into the audience, and hopefully the mix with the audience sounds good, you know? So that's basically it, how I practice without a drum kit. And that's basically it. You don't even need a drum pad. Just get rid of that. And I barely use it, to be honest. I just use drumsticks and kind of do the air drumming. And I know it sounds kind of ridiculous, but it's worked for me for 3 years. So no one's complained yet. Got compliments. It's fine. And if you're traveling, you don't need to worry about bringing drumsticks. I'll bring mine if I'm going camping or something. But just use your hands, use your imagination. And when I was just playing just a minute ago, I was imagining I'm on a stage in an outdoor amphitheater with, like, you know, a couple hundred people just having a blast. So it's all in your head. And in the end, life is all in your head. So you might as well play in your head. Cheers.